definitely getting chilly. And this is the time of year where I'm going to start to get kind of kooky myself. The fall, the black-tailed deer rut. I don't know what it is, just October 13th or 12th or something right now. And I've got I'm going to fulfill a goal here, hopefully fairly shortly, with a target buck that I've watched grow for, this will be the fifth year. I've watched this guy grow up to get senior citizen age, and he's dodged so many wolves and cats 24/7, dodged me and other hunters possibly, and it's been a really exciting ride. And finally, the first time since I decided it was time to go after him, the weather looks like we're going to have a real fall and a real winter this year after missing out for a handful of years, and that's going to play key into getting the one up on him and having a prolonged game of cat and mouse with him this November. I can't wait. And I'm going to be going at it really heavy for probably 45 days straight anyway. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting out there, and I'm collecting up some trail cameras that I placed out, I think, in June or so. And it's going to be a lot of sweat doing that. I still have a lot of chores to get done at home. But anyway, so I got this one. So when I came home from being up north hunting, I was in the grocery store, and a friendly, cool dude, fellow hunter, a native guy from the Mount Currie band, he recognized me, come up and had a good bullshit with me in the grocery store. I'm sure you're watching right now. Hey man, saying hi to you again. And he had told me that he was just deer hunting the other day, not too far from where I live, and they ran into two Sasquatch there. And I think from what he described, they normally run into them at this particular area. And I'm quite familiar with that group of them that live around that area. And I know of a handful of other people who are familiar with them as well and have been ongoing encounters with them. Nothing bad seems to come from it yet. I haven't heard of any bad experiences with that group of beings yet. Just the typical alarming stuff: cabins getting slapped, arms coming in the windows of cabins, screams, the typical shit, right? But it was interesting talking to that fella, and he said he was potentially going to email me in a handful of his encounters here fairly quick, and I hope he does. And what else? There's a handful of other people. I'm going to try to have the old campfire bullshit with session with them pretty quick, like I did when we were on a hunting trip a few trips back, with some people who are very familiar with these beings and help them in their yards quite often, year-round almost, I think. And that should prove to be pretty interesting if I can pull it off. It's funny, not too many people want to be in front of the camera. There's a lot of people that don't even want their encounters shared publicly either, and that's fine. But it is funny how many people don't want to be in front of a camera and speak about their experiences, and that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. But anyhow, let's see. I'm gonna try to blast out a couple emails here while I'm in the woods. Obviously, I don't really do it from home too much. I'm not into it. When I'm at home, I'm busy doing other things, and it just doesn't feel right to talk about what goes on out here without being out here and talking about it. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's a pile of people out there that talk about this from the safety of indoors nonstop. Is what it is. I'm not concerned about anybody else actually when it comes to this topic that has YouTube channels. Nobody else. I'm not into it. I don't have time even to. I'm sure there's probably dozens and dozens of YouTube channels out there that cover the same topic as I do, and I'm not familiar with any of them. Majority of them. I've been familiar with a few channels. A couple of channels are friends of mine, Scott Carpenter and David Plias. I'm familiar with their channels, and I hear the odd things, and it shuts me up instantly when I'm particularly where I am right now. If you ever see me stop and look, I got my ears covered with the toque, and I almost got my head blown off by a hunter a handful of years ago. My ears have been ringing ever since, so sometimes when I hear sounds, I really got to stop and listen for a second. But anyway, where was I? YouTube channels. Yeah. I don't know what I'm babbling about right now. I'm kind of tired, man. I got so much shit I got to do. I got to go get my phone. So anyway, while I'm here, enough of the babbling, right? Let's get into it. Let's get these emails shared for these people. And see if we can build people's confidence back up so they can get back in the woods and live alongside whatever's out there, and also be aware of what's out there that you might not want to be alongside, right? Now, all right, here we go. Listen to this. This came in not too long ago. Good evening. I thank you for an honest forum to tell my stories. I have two to share. I tried to share my stories with that BS group called the BFRO. What a bunch of phonies. If M. Moneymaker ever saw an actual Sasquatch, he'd probably crap his pants. I've been in the outdoors all my life. I'm now 62. Retired as an Army commanding officer. I graduated from Army Ranger School. I've been shot, blown up, and survived cancer, and I still get out to hunt Virginia and West Virginia. I have a 300 mag for my big game hunting, and when I bow hunt, I wear a 357 as a sidearm. I'm not afraid of any man. I know every animal in the woods. I used to love getting out by myself in the woods. It was 2015, mid-October, and I've been fly fishing for the day on the James River. I set up my camp for the day, started a fire to cook my dinner of fresh trout, and I was the only one in the state campgrounds for about 4 p.m. and the sun was just starting to set. I heard 3 knocks on a tree about 50 yards away. I looked up in the direction of the sound and saw a very large creature heading towards the river. He was looking at me the entire time. It was moving and at a very rapid pace. I know it was 7 to 8 feet tall and over 500 pounds and very dark in color. I could hear it when it hit the river. I pay very close attention to my sixth sense. It has saved my life in the Gulf War in El Salvador, where I got shot, but I killed 6 before I went down. The hair on the back of my neck stood up to attention. I was afraid and I did not have a weapon on me. I packed up my camp in about 10 minutes and left. My second sighting was in 2019 in October. I was in Northern Virginia at the time. I was hunting turkey. Walking down a trail, I heard a tree snap. I stopped and looked around and saw a dark figure looking at me from around a large tree. It stared at me for about 20 seconds and took off. It must not have gone too far, and it broke another tree and threw it into the trail. The tree was at least 6 to 8 inches in diameter. It was snapped like a twig. It was young maple, not easy to snap. It made me so uncomfortable and I left. I was only about 1,000 yards from the Appalachian Trail. I am saddened by not wanting to go back into the woods to hunt. It was a huge part of my life. This is the first year I've not gone deer hunting in years. Thank you for your time. Keep doing what you're doing. We need people to call things what they are. Richard Gibbs, Colonel, U.S. Army, retired. All right. So thank you for that email, Richard. Thank you for your service as well. I'm glad you made it. Again, your email backs up what I've shared with a lot of people out there. Obviously I can't speak for every single person out there, especially the veterans, but I can say this with confidence that 100% of the ex-combat veterans who have emailed me, 100% of them to date have told me that it was more terrifying to see one of these things than it was to be in combat. And I've never been in combat myself. I've nearly been killed numerous times in the past, not by somebody in a foreign country with an automatic weapon or a bomb, but I've nearly been killed more than a handful of times by things that are much bigger than me and have sharp claws and teeth. But I can relate that having encountered one of these beings is absolutely terrifying. What can I share with you? It really makes me sick that the outdoors has been ruined for you. That's my 100% of my motivation for standing in front of this damn camera right now, right? Right now, I am alone. I'm in the Sea to Sky region of British Columbia where there's so many sightings of these things, it's mind-boggling. And I'm in the woods. And do I look over my shoulder? You probably see me looking over my shoulder nonstop as I'm talking to the camera. I'm looking at the timberline, I'm looking at the trees, I'm listening for sounds 100% of the time. I can't stop myself. But the amount of time I spend in the woods is a little more than your average outdoors person. I can guarantee that, because I've made a point of making a living in the outdoors so that I didn't have to have some job being under the control of some dickhead somewhere in the world, so that I wouldn't have to have a job being controlled by another human being. As far as I'm concerned, we're put on this planet to enjoy our passions, and you follow your soul and you follow your heart and you do what makes you feel good, and that's what I do, and I do it at all costs. So if I could offer you any kind of support or encouragement, it would be not being disrespectful or hard ass, but the easiest way I could say it coming from me, my personality is just suck that shit up, put on your boots, grab your gun, renew your license, and get out there and do it. You may want to change up how you do it. You know, like my style of hunting, I go off in the dark, up top of these mountains in the dark in this big timber where I know these things frequent, and I go anyway. And if I ever feel absolutely stressed out or the hair on my neck stands up, obviously I can feel, that's what I call pressure. I can feel pressure from that area, that pressure from that mountain, that patch of timber I'm contemplating hunting for the day. And I'll turn around, I'll leave, and I'll go somewhere else, and I'll come back and I'll try it another time until the hair on my back of my neck doesn't stand up and I don't feel the pressure, and then I know it's a green light to hunt there. And that's what I do. And it's been working for me so far. You know, I've had a handful of experiences each year as I go. I can hear them the odd time, get screamed at, have something weird on my trail camera, or whatever. And it's not going to go away. It's something that goes on there non-stop, no matter what. It didn't just start. It's been going on since time began alongside us. So, you know as well as I do, if that thing you saw wanted your ass, it would have had it. It would have had it numerous times. So, and it didn't. So please take that into consideration. Listen to all these stories. Listen to what people do. Listen to the typical things that happen to people. And you know as well as I do, if one of these beings was out to kill you, it's not going to give you a warning. You're not going to see it. It's not going to allow you to see it. It's not going to allow you to hear it. It's not going to give you any kind of warning at all. It's just going to kill your ass, right? So just don't give up, all right? Don't quit. Keep going out. Listen to your sixth sense. I'll guarantee you, I will guarantee it that I already know that your sixth sense is going to be a lot more heightened than the average person out there, just because you became more in tune with it to keep your ass safe while you're in combat in the service, right? So just apply it to hunting. Apply it to going to the woods. If you hunt from a stand, just don't go in there in the dark if it makes you feel uneasy. Go in daylight. Wait till it's first seeing light. But not that that's going to make a difference anyway. If something out there wants to hammer on you, right? But if I could offer up any kind of encouragement or advice, it would be to just suck it up, man. Don't give up and don't quit. Go anyway. Go somewhere new. Test the grounds. Go for a hike in there in the middle of the afternoon and walk around and see how comfortable you feel. See if you feel any pressure from going there, and keep going. Don't quit. All right. You know, there's a handful of places I don't go. I just don't go there anymore because of the experiences I've had that scared the shit out of me. And I'll admit it, I just avoid going there. I don't go to these places anymore. But I have found other places that I will go and it feels comfortable to go, and they haven't been ruined for me yet, although I have found footprints there and I have been screamed at once. Not far from here, actually. I got screamed at last year, I think. First light in the morning. But it's from a distance away from me. I just went the opposite direction and left. And I came back a couple days later. But anyway. Anyway, I gotta get going. People are figuring out that I'm home and I gotta get my button gear, get caught up and stuff, and get more of these emails read and loaded up to the YouTube. All right. So again, if you're having problems with this topic and experiences where you hunt or fish, live, go ahead and email it in. Share my story at howtohunt.com or tell my story at howtohunt.com, and we'll get it read out loud and shared with the people who are like-minded, having the same experiences as you. Be safe out there.